Welcome back. I'm Pratap here. Today is 8th September 2025. In this video, I'm going to generate different supply demand zone reports useful to the premium subscribers. Even before that, please note, we are providing complete free training on supply demand zone price action. All the training lessons are already available at our NeoStock YouTube channel. To access all the training lessons at our channel homepage, click on the tab Posts. Some of you might be seeing Community tab. In that case, click on the Community tab. In both cases, you will be getting the same post. And this post is having a YouTube playlist link that is having all the training lessons. You just click on the link. Now we are into supply demand zone price action course. Here you have all the training lessons are available. You just scroll down to the bottom of the page. Here starting from lesson 1.1, all the training lessons are placed in an order. So please go through all these lessons one by one, but according to my training instructions mentioned at our Telegram channel. That is very important. I am providing the link to our Telegram channel in this video description. Please join at our Telegram channel. So in the Telegram channel, old messages or even in the pinned messages, you can find all the training instructions. So please learn the course according to those training instructions. Then it will be helpful to you to become a very good independent trader. Please make use of this opportunity. Now I am generating different supply demand zone reports with the help of NeoStock Software's supply demand zone top-down analysis strategy builder. Okay, first I am going to generate daily and 75 minutes stocks near demand and supply zones. So from those reports we can identify high priority, high liquidity zones so that they can be used for high liquidity zone strategy that you learned in lesson 21.3 video. Okay, now starting with the daily time frame, stocks near to the daily demand zone, we got 8 stocks. Let us identify high liquidity daily demand zones from this list. NIFTY IT is having a high liquidity demand zone, but it is an indices not listed in F&O, so I am ignoring this stock. Next, ERIDA is having a daily high liquidity demand zone. Next, Tetagar is having a daily high liquidity demand zone. So we have identified 2 daily high liquidity demand zones from this list. Okay, next, stocks near to the daily supply zone. We got 10 stocks. Let us identify high priority, high liquidity supply zones from this list. BPCL is having a daily high liquidity supply zone. Godrej Consumer is a PR surge zone. Maybe you can use it for PR surge zone strategies that you learned in lesson 28, but not high liquidity zone strategy. You can't use this. Next one is MFSL is having a daily high liquidity supply zone. And the next one is Tata Motors. So total 3 daily high liquidity supply zones we identified from this list. Okay, next time frame is 75 minutes. Stocks near to the 75 minutes demand zone. We got 14 stocks. Let us identify 75 minutes high liquidity demand zones from this list. BEL is having a 75 minutes high liquidity demand zone. Next one, GAIL is having a 75 minutes high liquidity demand zone. It is also having 75 minutes high liquidity supply zone. So either side you may get trade opportunities. Grasim is not valid because it is a PR surge zone. Next one is a Kotak Bank is having a 75 minutes high liquidity demand zone. Next one is a TCS is having a 75 minutes high liquidity demand zone. So total we identified 4 75 minutes high liquidity demand zones from this list. Okay, next time frame is for 75 minutes time frame, stocks near to the 75 minute supply zone, we got 8 stocks. Let us identify 75 minutes high liquidity supply zones from this list. We don't have any 75 minutes high liquidity supply zones from this list. So this is about high liquidity zone identification from daily and 75 minutes time frames. So next, I will generate NIFTY and BANKNIFTY supply demand zone chain reports. Starting with NIFTY, generating monthly supply demand zone chain. So this is NIFTY monthly supply demand zone chain report. In any supply demand zone chain report, always look into the zone column to find the high liquidity zones. Look into the pierced column to find the pierced zones. Always look into the LTF trend to find the trend of the current time frame you have selected. One time frame higher is ITF and another time frame higher is HTF. You already learned these concepts. And also don't forget to pause the video when I am moving from one report to another report, because I am giving you very few seconds time to watch the reports. So after study you can proceed further. Okay, next, generating weekly supply demand zone chain for NIFTY. Next, generating daily supply demand zone chain for NIFTY. Next, generating 125 minutes supply demand zone chain for NIFTY. Next, generating 75 minutes supply demand zone chain for NIFTY. Next, generating 25 minutes supply demand zone chain for NIFTY. Next, generating 15 minutes supply demand zone chain for NIFTY. This is the nearest demand zone to the current closing price. Okay, next, generating 5 minutes supply demand zone chain for NIFTY. The nearest demand zone to the current closing price is serial number 32. Let me put it in the middle of the page. I will put it in the middle. Okay. So this is about NIFTY supply demand zone chain. Next, I will generate BANKNIFTY supply demand zone chain report. I am going back, changing the name to NIFTY Bank. That is nothing but BANKNIFTY. So generating monthly supply demand zone chain for BANKNIFTY. Next, generating a weekly supply demand zone chain for BANKNIFTY. Next, generating daily supply demand zone chain for BANKNIFTY. Next, generating 125 minutes supply demand zone chain for BANKNIFTY. Next, generating 75 minutes supply demand zone chain for BANKNIFTY. Next, generating 25 minutes supply demand zone chain for BANKNIFTY. Next, generating 15 minutes supply demand zone chain for Bank Nifty. Next, generating 5 minutes supply demand zone chain for Bank Nifty. And the nearest demand zone to the current closing price is serial number 25. Putting it in the middle of the piece. So this is Bank Nifty supply demand zone chain. So we have completed both Nifty and Bank Nifty supply demand zone chain reports. Next I am generating sideways bullish and bearish trade setups for monthly, weekly and daily income trades. So starting with monthly income trade, sideways long trade setup, entry time frame daily, entry zone demand zone, bullish or bearish or sideways. At entry time frame daily, I am selecting sideways long. Zone achievement violated opposing zone. Minimum odd enhancer score 11 for sideways. And pierced zones I am allowing for daily time frame. So that any pierced zones on daily time frame, you can use it for pierced zone strategies that you land in lesson 28. But you can't be using them as sideways trade setup. So total 6 stocks we got. In that you got one pierced zone. That means 5 stocks are valid for sideways long trade setup. And entry time frame zones are daily demand zones. For monthly income trade, sideways long trade setup. Next, and also don't forget to use apply checklist items that you learned in lesson 30.3 video. Otherwise, if the checklist is not passed, higher chances of zone violation. Okay, next for sideways short trade setup for monthly income trade, entry time frame zones are daily supply zone and also here sideways short. No stocks are available. Next, bullish trade setup, entry time frame zones are daily demand zone and bullish and minimum odd enhancer score is 12. Let's filter. So you got a total 19 stocks. So first 18 stocks that are supporting bullish trade setup for monthly income trade are listed here. And entry time frame zones are daily demand zones for all the stocks. Scrolling the list down. So total 19 stocks are filtered. Out of these 19 daily demand zones, some are pierced zones are there. Those pierced zones you can't use for bullish trade setup. They should be used only for pierced zone strategies that you learned in lesson 28. Okay, apart from that, these 19 stocks, how many? There could be some high probability trade setup supported zones might be available based on different zone confluence and EMA confluence strategies that we learned in lesson 27. So first filter is LTF and ITF demand zone confluence applying on these 19 stocks. So in the demand zone confluence parameter, I am setting the filter LTF and ITF, that is daily and weekly demand zone confluence. So by enabling the filter on the 19 stocks, we got 16 stocks. In all the 16 stocks, all these daily demand zones, all these 16 daily demand zones are overlapped with their weekly demand zone. And the weekly trend is uptrend in all the stocks. ITF trend is weekly. So we can further filter this list based on weekly demand zone having weekly EMA confluence. So I'm going back, adding EMA filter on weekly time frame by checking weekly demand zone having weekly EMA confluence. Because weekly trend is uptrend in all the stocks, I'm filtering. So now we got 8 stocks. So these 8 daily demand zones might be having more high probability to get success provided lesson 20 checklist items are satisfied. Otherwise, higher chances of zone violation. 2 zones are having pierced demand zones. They should be used only for pierced zone strategies that you learned in lesson 28. You can't use those two zones for high bullish trade setup. Okay. This is the first strategy as per the first strategy. Next strategy, LTF, ITF and HTF demand zone confluence, and after that HTF EMA confluence. Let us apply those filters. So I am going back, removing ITF EMA filter. In the demand zone confluence, 3 filters we have to set. First filter is already enabled, that is daily and weekly. Next, daily and monthly, weekly and monthly demand zone confluence. With all the 3 filters, daily, weekly, monthly zone confluence, we got 3 stocks. In all the 3 stocks, these daily demand zones are overlapped with weekly demand zone. Both together again overlapped with monthly demand zone, and monthly trend is uptrend. Let's further filter based on monthly demand zone having monthly EMA confluence, because monthly trend is uptrend in all the 3 stocks. So one stock is filtered. So this daily demand zone might be having more high probability to get success, provide lesson 20 checklist items are satisfied. Otherwise, there are higher chances of zone violation. So this is bullish trade setup for monthly income trade. Next, bearish trade setup for monthly income trade. Entry time frame daily, entry zone supply zone, bullish or bearish. At daily I am selecting bearish. Zone achievement violated opposing zone. Minimum odd enhancer score 12. Let's filter. We got 5 stocks supporting bearish trade setup for monthly income trade, and entry time frame zones are daily supply zones. So total we got 5 daily supply zones. Out of these 5, how many are having more high probability to get success? Based on different zone confluence and EMA confluence strategies that we learned in lesson 27. Okay, first filter is LTF and ITF supply zone confluence. That is the daily and weekly supply zone confluence. Applying the filter and the 5 stocks, we got all 5 are filtered. That means in all the 5, all these daily supply zones are overlapped with weekly supply zone. And the weekly trend is a downtrend in all the stocks. So we can further filter based on weekly supply zone having weekly EMA confluence, because weekly trend is downtrend. So 2 stocks are filtered. So these 2 daily supply zones are having more high probability to get success. Provide lesson 20 checklist items are satisfied. Okay, next let us look into LTF, ITF and HTF supply zone confluence, and then HTF EMA. HTF EMA not valid because sideways trend. That we will see. Removing ITF EMA filter. In the supply zone confluence, 3 filters we have to set: daily and weekly already enabled, daily and monthly, weekly and monthly. Supply zone confluence in all the 3 filters. So we got 3 stocks. In all the 3 stocks, these daily supply zones overlapped with weekly supply zone, both together again overlapped with monthly supply zone. But monthly trend is sideways. Sideways trend EMA confluence cannot be used for finding high probability trade setup zones. So in this strategy, we don't have any high probability trade setup, daily supply zones available. Okay, this is bearish trade setup for monthly income trade. We have completed monthly income trade report generation. Next, I will generate a weekly income trade report generation. For weekly income trade entry time frame, 75 minutes, entry zone, demand zone for sideways long trade setup, and also bullish or bearish or sideways at 75 minutes entry time frame. I am selecting sideways long, zone achievement violated opposing zone, minimum odd enhancer score 11 for sideways, and 75 minutes demand zone should not be pierced. So third filter we are adding in the pierced count parameter at 75 minutes time frame. I am setting minimum value 0, maximum value 0. That means pierced count should be 0. Pierced count 0 means the 75 minutes demand zone should not be filtered. It pierced 75 minute zones. Okay, let's filter. We got 5 stocks. You won't be having any pierced demand zones here. Maybe pierced supply zones we may get, but not demand zones. Okay, total we got 5 75 minutes demand zones we got. Supporting sideways long trade setup. But you need to plan your trade only if less than 30.3 checklist items are satisfied. Otherwise, higher chances of zone violation. Okay, next. Sideways short trade setup for weekly income trade. 75 minute supply zone, and here sideways short. Let's filter. We don't have any stocks. Okay, next bullish trade setup for weekly income trade, entry time frame zone, 75 minutes demand zone, here bullish, and minimum order enhancer score 12. Let's filter. We got 18 stocks. So first 17 stocks in the list are displayed, and in all are supporting a bullish trade setup for weekly income trade, and all these entry time frame zones are 75 minutes demand zones. So total we got 18 stocks, but first 17 stocks are displayed on the screen. I am scrolling the list down. So total 18 stocks are filtered. All are supporting bullish trade setup for weekly income trade. Out of these 18 75 minutes demand zones, there could be some high probability trade setup. 75 minutes demand zones might be available as per the zone confluence and EMA confluence strategies that we learned in lesson 27. So I am applying a demand zone confluence filter on these 18 stocks. That is LTF and ITF demand zone confluence. That is nothing but 75 minutes and daily demand zone confluence is enabled. Let's filter based on this. Now out of 18 we got 14 stocks. In all the 14 75 minutes demand zones are overlapped with the daily demand zone. That is what? Zone confluence. 75 minutes demand zones part of the daily demand zone. And daily trend is uptrend. ITF trend is daily uptrend in all the stocks. We can further filter this list based on daily demand zone having daily EMA confluence. Daily demand zone having daily, because 75 minutes demand zone overlapped with daily demand zone. So let's filter. We got 9 stocks. All these 9 75 minutes demand zones might be having more high probability to get success, provide less than 20 checklist items are satisfied. Otherwise, there are higher chances of zone violation. Okay. Next, let us look into LTF, ITF and HTF demand zone confluence, thereafter HTF EMA confluence. Let us filter based on these rules. So I am going back, removing ITF EMA filter. In the demand zone confluence, 3 filters we have to set. The first one is 75 and daily, already enabled. Next 75 and weekly. Daily and weekly demand zone confluence. With all the 3 filters, we got 5 stocks. In all the 5 stocks, these 75 minutes demand zones are overlapped with daily demand zone, both together again overlapped with weekly demand zone. And weekly trend is uptrend, only 2 stocks. Let us verify if these weekly demand zones are having weekly EMA confluence. Weekly demand zone with weekly EMA. At the same time, trend on the weekly should not be sideways. It should be only uptrend because it is bullish trade setup. Let's filter. Both these stocks having uptrend are filtered. That way these two 75 minutes demand zones might be having more high probability to get success, provided less than 20 checklist items are satisfied. Otherwise, there are higher chances of zone violation. Okay, this is a bullish trade setup for a weekly income trade. Next, I will generate bearish weekly income trade, bearish trade setup. Entry time frame 75 minutes, entry zone, supply zone, bullish or bearish at 75 minutes. I am selecting bearish zone achievement, violated opposing zone, minimum odd and enhanced score 12, and also 75 minute supply zone should not be pierced. So in the pierced count parameter at 75 minutes time frame, minimum value is 0, maximum value is 0. So with these filters, we got 7 stocks. All the 7 stocks are supporting bearish trade setup for weekly income trade. And entry time frame zones are 75 minute supply zones. So total we got 7 stocks. Okay, out of these 75 minute supply zones, there could be some high probability trade setup. 75 minute supply zones might be available as per the zone confluence and EMA confluence strategies that we learned in lesson 27. Let us apply those strategies. First strategy is LTF and ITF supply zone confluence, and then ITF EMA confluence. So I am going back and applying zone confluence. That is supply zone confluence. That is 75 minute supply zone with daily supply zone. Confluence filter is enabled. And applying the filter, we got 5 stocks. In all the 5 stocks, these 75 minute supply zones are overlapped with daily supply zone. And daily trend, that is ITF trend. Daily is ITF. Trend is downtrend in all the stocks, so that we can further filter based on 75 minutes, based on daily supply zone having daily EMA confluence, because 75 minute supply zone overlapped with daily supply zone. So I am going back at EMA confluence, at daily time frame, I am checking daily supply zone with daily EMA confluence. Now we got 5 stocks, all 5 are filtered. That means all the 5 75 minute supply zones might be having more high probability to get success, provide less than 20 checklist items are satisfied. Otherwise, there are higher chances of zone violation. Okay. Next strategy is LTF, ITF and HTF supply zone confluence. So I am going back, removing EMA filter. In the supply zone confluence, 3 filters we have to set. First filter is already enabled, 75 and daily. Next 75 and weekly. Daily and weekly supply zone confluence with all the 3 filters. We got 2 stocks. In these 2 stocks, these 75 minute supply zones overlapped with daily supply zone, both together again overlapped with weekly supply zone. But weekly trend is a downtrend in only one stock. Let's verify in this stock any weekly supply zone having weekly EMA confluence. And trend on the weekly should not be sideways, it should be downtrend because it is bearish trade setup. So this is filtered. So this stock might be having, this 75 minute supply zone might be having more high probability to get success, provide less than 20 checklist items are satisfied. Otherwise, there are higher chances of zone violation. So this is bearish trade setup for weekly income trade. So we have completed weekly income trade reports. Next, we will generate daily income trade reports. Daily income trade entry time frame 15 minutes. Entry zone, demand zone for sideways long trade setup. And bullish or bearish or sideways at entry time frame 15 minutes. I am selecting sideways long. Zone achievement violated opposing zone. Minimum order enhancer score 12. And also 15 minutes demand zone should not be pierced. So in the pierced count parameter, at 15 minutes time frame, I am setting minimum value 0, maximum value 0. That means pierced count is 0. Pierced count is 0 means zone is not pierced. Which zone? 15 minutes demand zone, what we select here. Okay, now let's filter. We got only one stock supporting sideways long trade setup for daily income trade, and entry time frame is 15 minutes demand zone. But apply 15 minutes. You have to apply the checklist items that you learned in lesson 30.3 video. If this demand zone supplies, then you can plan trade. Otherwise, higher chances of zone violation. Okay, next, sideways short trade setup for daily income trade. Entry time frame zone 15 minutes supply zone. Here sideways short trade setup. Let's filter. Again, we got only one stock. And this is the 15 minute supply zone for daily sideways sideways short trade setup for daily income trade. Entry time frame 15 minute supply zone. You can plan trade only if lesson 30.3 video checklist items are satisfied. Otherwise, there are higher chances of this zone violation. Because sideways trade setup, you have to use lesson 30.3 checklist. Bullish or bearish, lesson 20 checklist items. Okay, this is sideways short trade setup. Next, bullish trade setup for daily income trade. Changes are 15 minutes demand zone, then here bullish. And also minimum odd enhancer score. Earlier I made a mistake. I have to give 11 for sideways. I'll regenerate again. Sideways long trade setup, I am generating again 15 minutes demand zone. It should be 11 for sideways. Even then one stock only we got. Good. And sideways short trade setup, 15 minutes supply zone. And here sideways short. Here you got 5 stocks. Earlier we got only one. 5 stocks we got. Because minimum odd enhancer score 11. For all these 5 stocks, you should apply lesson 30.3 video. Lesson 30.3 video checklist items. If they satisfy, you can plan trade. Otherwise, those zones might violate. Higher chances are there. Okay, now bullish trade setup, entry time frame zone 15 minutes demand zone, bullish trade setup for daily income trade. And here bullish and minimum odd enhancer score 12. Let's filter. We got 12 stocks. And all these 12 are supporting bullish trade setup for daily income trade, and entry time frame zones are 15 minutes demand zones. So total we got 12 stocks. Out of these 12, how many are having more high probability to get success? That we filter based on different zone confluence and EMA confluence strategies we learned in lesson 27. First one is LTF and ITF demand zone confluence. That is 15 minutes and 75 minutes demand zone confluence. By enabling the filter, we got 10 stocks out of 12. In all the 12, all these 15 minutes demand zones are overlapped with 75 minutes demand zone. And 75 minutes trend is uptrend in all the stocks, ITF trend. So we can further filter based on EMA confluence at 75 minutes demand zone. That is 75 minutes demand zone with daily EMA confluence. We got one stock. So this 15 minutes demand zone is having more high probability to get success Provide lesson 20 checklist items are satisfied. Otherwise, there are higher chances of zone violation. Okay, next let us look into LTF, ITF and even HTF demand zone confluence supported stocks. I am removing EMA filter. In the demand zone confluence, 3 filters I have to set. First filter is already enabled, 15 minutes and 75 minutes. Next 15 minutes and daily, 75 minutes and daily, demand zone confluence. With all the 3 filters, we got 5 stocks. That means in all the 5 stocks, these 15 minutes demand zones are overlapped with 75 minutes demand zone. Both together again overlapped with daily demand zone. And daily trend is, HTF trend is, daily trend is up in 4 stocks out of 5. So in those 4 uptrend stocks, if any daily demand zone having daily EMA confluence, then the overlapped 15 minutes demand zones inside daily might be having more high probability to get success. Let's verify. So in the EMA confluence at daily time frame, I am checking daily demand zone having daily EMA or not. At the same time, trend on the daily should not be sideways. It should be uptrend because it is bullish trade setup. Let's filter. So one stock is filtered. So this 15 minutes demand zone might be having more high probability to get success. Provide lesson 20 checklist items are satisfied. Otherwise, there are higher chances of zone violation. So this is bullish trade setup for daily income trade. Next, bearish trade setup for daily income trade. Entry time frame is 15 minutes. Entry zone is supply zone. In bullish or bearish or sideways at 15 minutes, I am selecting bearish. Zone achievement violated opposing zone, minimum odd enhancer score 12, and also 15 minute supply zone should not be pierced. So in the pierced count parameter at 15 minutes time frame, minimum value 0, maximum value 0. So with these filters, we got 5 stocks. So these 5 stocks are supporting bearish trade setup for daily income trade. And entry time frame zones are 15 minute supply zones. So total we got 5 stocks. Out of these 5, how many 15 minute supply zones are having more high probability to get success? That we filter based on different zone confluence and EMA confluence strategies that we learned in lesson 27. So first filter is LTF and ITF supply zone confluence. That is 15 minutes and 75 minutes supply zone confluence. By enabling the filter and applying on the 5 stocks, we got 3 stocks. In all the 3 stocks, these 15 minute supply zones are overlapped with 75 minute supply zone. And 75 minutes trend is a downtrend in all the 3 stocks. So we can further filter based on 75 minute supply zone having daily EMA confluence. So this one stock is filtered. So this stock is having more high probability to get success. Provide lesson 20 checklist items are satisfied. Already tested once. Is it going to work one more time? That is depending on lesson 20 checklist items. If they satisfy, we can plan the trade. Otherwise, there are higher chances of zone violation. That is what we should understand. Okay, next let us filter based on LTF, ITF and HTF supply zone confluence. Thereafter HTF EMA confluence. I am going back, removing this ITF supply zone, EMA confluence. In the supply zone confluence, 3 filters I have to set. First filter is already enabled, 15 minutes and 75 minutes supply zone confluence. Next one is 15 minutes and daily supply zone confluence, 75 minutes and daily supply zone confluence. With all the 3 filters, we got only one stock. So this 15-minute supply zone overlapped with 75-minute supply zone. Both together again overlapped with daily supply zone. And daily trend is downtrend. So let's verify any daily EMA confluence is there. So daily supply zone with daily EMA confluence we are enabling. Let's filter. So it is filtered. That means this 15-minute supply zone might be having more high probability to get success, provided less than 20 checklist items are satisfied. Otherwise, there are higher chances of zone violation. Okay, this is about the bearish trade setup for daily income trade. So we have generated the income trade reports. Next, I will find the stocks near demand and supply zones for all the time frames, starting with the yearly. Price closed inside the yearly demand zone. We got 3 stocks. I'm giving you very few seconds time to watch, so you have to pause the video and study the reports. After that, you have to proceed further. Okay, next, price closed inside the yearly supply zone, no stocks. Next time frame, half yearly. Price closed inside the half yearly demand zone, we got 7 stocks. Next, price closed inside the half yearly supply zone, we got 3 stocks. Next time frame is quarterly. Stocks near to the quarterly demand zone, we got 2 stocks. Next, stocks near to the quarterly supply zone, no stocks. Next, price closed inside the quarterly demand zone, first 22 stocks in the list. NIFTY Bank is also in this list. Scrolling the list down, so total 23 stocks are filtered. We can further filter this list based on quarterly demand zone having quarterly EMA confluence. So in the EMA confluence at quarterly time frame, quarterly demand zone with quarterly EMA. And also trend on the quarterly should not be sideways. It can be up or down trend. Let's filter. So 13 stocks are filtered. Okay. Next, quarterly time frame, price closed inside the quarterly supply zone, we got 12 stocks. Let's further filter based on quarterly supply zone having quarterly EMA confluence. And also trend on the quarterly should not be sideways. We got 3 stocks. Okay, next time frame is monthly. Stocks near to the monthly demand zone, we got 8 stocks. Next, stocks near to the monthly supply zone, we got 5 stocks. Next, price closed inside the monthly demand zone, first 18 stocks in the list. Scrolling the list down, total 32 stocks are filtered. We can further filter this list based on monthly demand zone having monthly EMA confluence. Also trend on the monthly should not be sideways. So we got 17 stocks. Okay, next, price closed inside the monthly supply zones. First 15 stocks in the list. Scrolling the list down, total 23 stocks are filtered. We can further filter this list based on monthly supply zone having monthly EMA confluence. And also trend on the monthly should not be sideways. We got 7 stocks. Okay, next time frame is weekly. Stocks near to the weekly demand zone, we got 6 stocks. Next, stocks near to the weekly supply zone, we got 10 stocks. Next, price closed inside the weekly demand zone. First 16 stocks in the list. Scrolling the list down. Total 40 stocks are filtered. We can further filter this list based on weekly demand zone having weekly EMA confluence. And also trend on the weekly should not be sideways. It can be up or down. Now the list is reduced. First 16 stocks in the list. Scrolling the list down. Total 24 stocks are filtered. Okay, next, price closed inside the weekly supply zone. First 15 stocks in the list. Scrolling the list down. So total 45 stocks are filtered. Let's further filter based on weekly supply zone having weekly EMA confluence. And also trend on the weekly should not be sideways. Now the list is reduced. First 15 stocks in the list. I'm scrolling the list down. Total 18 stocks are filtered. So this is about weekly time frame. Next time frame daily already generated in the beginning of the report. So the next time frame is 125 minutes. Stocks near to the 125 minutes demand zone. First 15 stocks in the list. I'm scrolling the list down. Total 18 stocks are filtered. Okay, next, stocks near to the 125 minute supply zone, we got 9 stocks. Next time frame 75 minutes already generated in the beginning of the report. So the next time frame is 25 minutes. Stocks near to the 25 minutes demand zone, we got 6 stocks. Next, stocks near to the 25 minute supply zone, we got 8 stocks. Next time frame is 15 minutes. Stocks near to the 15 minutes demand zone, we got 8 stocks. Next, stocks near to the 15 minute supply zone, we got 6 stocks. Next time frame is 5 minutes. Stocks near to the 5 minutes demand zone, we got 9 stocks. Next, stocks near to the 5 minute supply zone, we got 7 stocks. So this is about finding the stocks near demand and supply zones for different time frames. Final report, let us generate stop buffers based on daily ATR. First 17 in this list are indices, remaining all are equity stocks. So I am scrolling the list down. Whichever the stock you want to refer, there pause the video, study. After that you can proceed further. Okay, I am scrolling the list down. So this is the end of the report. Hope this information will be useful to you for your further study and analysis. Let us all meet again in our next video. Thank you.